Yeah.
Hair looks good.
My hair?
Mhm.
Thank you. It
Where do
needs
you
to be
want that?
washed. Hi, folks. Over here. Just
Right
If-
here, front. Gotcha.
so waiting for some people to join here. Make sure that we are on Facebook and on YouTube right now. If you're joining us now, say hi in the comments. I am making waffles. These are pancakes, but I'm gonna be making waffles. So there's a good lighting. My producer, my husband. I'm gonna say hi to Jared.
Hi, Jared.
No, say hi to Jared. It's not that funny. Dad jokes. So we're gonna watch Joe Biden tonight. I'm gonna watch Joe Biden tonight. You might be watching Joe Biden tonight. And I am trying to get dinner made before that happens along with my husband. I thought I would show you guys my Mickey Waffle maker. Look at this thing. I know how much y'all really are liking Disney right now. Look at this. It makes Mickey Waffles. So you guys are gonna get to watch me make Mickey Waffles.
Hello.
Or these goofballs here.
Hello.
Okay, all right, get down.
I want to stand here.
Huh? You got okay. You can stand here. What's on your shirt?
Minnie Mouse.
Minnie Mouse.
Mhm.
So these could be like mini waffles.
No, but they're Mickey Waffles to me because there's a Mickey pants on there.
All right, let's start making this. And while we're talking, I'm curious, how many of you are intending to watch Joe Biden speak tonight? Charlie, you're not. No, you're gonna take
Ooh,
Saturday.
di da da da. Bra chi chu cha. Cha chi chu ji.
Tell me who's gonna watch. I'm waiting to see, and I want to see also of you folks who are watching here on an special evening broadcast of the Annie Fro Show. This is what's really going on in my head normally during the show. Get my measuring cups. But are you paying attention to what Joe Biden says? Do you completely not care at all what Joe Biden has to say? Would you rather not even know that Joe Biden's supposed to address the nation at 7 o'clock? Because he hasn't given a primetime address yet. I doubt he'll be taking questions. I don't know if this is going to be from the Oval Office.
Yeah, it's my mommy. She's Annie, right?
Hey, Josh. Oh man. I was just thinking, and we're gonna have a fourth. I will tell you this. I'll let you in on a little secret here, folks. My own father, this one's grandfather, goes, "What are you gonna do if you have another one?" And it's exactly like this one. Oh, it's okay. And we said we don't know. Is there something? Was there something that you needed Evelyn to do?
Probably.
Upstairs? Downstairs? Anywhere else? So yeah.
It's my daddy.
Evelyn. Shush. Okay. Can we be quiet? Can we be appropriate and quiet? Otherwise the waffles will never get made and Joe Biden won't be able to speak. Tell me about what you like, how much you care about the fact that Joe Biden may or may not be speaking tonight. Who is this? Lisa says, hi from Eolia? I've never heard of that. Where's that? I think I have to with a large glass of red wine. Well, I am very jealous of you. I'm not somebody I've not been, if you don't know, I'm 26 weeks pregnant. Today, 26 weeks. 98 days till the due date, and I do not intend to go to the due date. The rest of my babies were all born. My water broke with my son. Funniest story ever. Jared, you want to tell that story? Oh no! I just made a big mess. When my water broke with my son, it was the day before we were supposed to get induced. What do you want? What are you doing? Oh, show them what you're making. Bacon.
Bacon
Look,
and
you can't. No. You gotta oven bake that bacon.
Less grease on the
It was the day before we were supposed to get induced. It was the day after Christmas. And I woke up at 7 a.m. and my water broke.
On 20 hours sleep?
Leapt. I don't know. That's why you always bring it up. I couldn't sleep. Something was going on. I was having a baby. 7 a.m. and I leapt. And you don't really leap at 9 months pregnant, but I did. I leapt out of bed and stood next to the bed with my water breaking. And Jared, do you want to show him how that went?
I don't have enough space at the moment.
Jared leaps out of bed, and I was on the other side. So I'm on the other side of the bed, and the door and like everything else in our house was behind him. And he like went to me, and then he spun around because he was going to go out the door to get a bag, and then he spun back to me. He like went 3 complete circles before I said, I was like, Jared, you've got to get it together. He's like, okay, what do you need? First time dad. It's expected. So anyway. Somebody said something about red wine, and that sounds delicious right now. I'm not a big drinker. I enjoy having a drink, but it's not like a regular occurrence. It's kind of a treat type of a thing. And this pregnancy, all I want is a margarita or a good whiskey slush. That's all I want. I don't know why I'm craving that. I can't have it. So 1 1/4 cups of water. We're making Mickey Waffles, folks. I forgot to turn on the waffle maker. So when you watch Joe Biden, are you watching because you want to see what he has to say about things? Are you watching to see if it turns into a big gaffe machine? Are you watching to see if he can actually do the whole thing? I'm curious what your interest level is. And I also know it's very possible you could not care less, and you may not even want to know what Joe Biden has to say. You might think you already know what he has to say. Julia says, I want to see the gaffes. Jeannie says, I'd rather listen to your daughter over Biden, hands down. Oh, okay. What are you doing this weekend? You want to babysit? Let's see here. Jennifer says, bacon in the oven is the only way to go. Marcia is not watching tonight from Hillsboro, Missouri. Lisa, 15 minutes north of Troy. That's interesting. Troy, Illinois, or Troy, Missouri? Joseph says, my mom smoked and drank wine during my time. I turned out great. Well, Joseph, I've never met you to know that for 100% sure. So until then, just go by my doctor's orders. Let's see here. Glass of red wine and chocolate. Mark, oh, here's an interesting question. Mark says, your position the same way, husband by the door in protect mode. Yes, but is that suck for men? Because as a woman, I normally want that. Right now, we've switched because when we switch in bed, I'm now closer to the door, but I'm also closer to the bathroom, and I'm the one who gets to pee 6 times a night. But
It used to be the other puking too.
And puke. Yeah, that's true. How do you men feel with your women being like, why don't you go be by the door? So if there's an intruder, you go first.
That's my job.
You said that's your job?
That's my job.
Aw, that's sweet and terrifying.
That's my job.
Lisa says, I want to see if he can speak intelligibly. I just hate intelligibly. Good word. I just hate what this administration is doing to Missouri. Okay, that's why I don't know the name. Michael says, what time does it come on? It's supposed to come on at 7, so in like 12 minutes. I hope it didn't already happen. Brian says, nothing beats breakfast for dinner. So true. So good. I think breakfast is the best meal that you can have. You can have sweet breakfast. You can have savory breakfast. 4th cup of vegetable oil. That's a lot. And an egg? Man, these are going to be good waffles. Hold on a second. I got to get oil. And there's the dog. Probably not doing a full 4th cup. What's she barking at? Absolutely nothing. Okay, so we are making Mickey waffles. I'm going to do about half of that because that sounds like a lot of oil. I'm getting an egg. Oh, egg. And then we're going to mix this, and then I'm going to show you how the Mickey waffles, how the magic gets made, because Mickey waffles are a huge, huge thing in this house. Starting to smell the bacon. I wish you guys could smell the bacon. Oh, Brad Underwood was on camera with Kevin Wheeler at 6:30 tonight. I was going to see that. I probably just got over. I bet you can on demand it. Or you can go to radio.com, which is our app, our station's app. KMOX is on there as well. And you can rewind. So I think I'm going to do that because Kevin Wheeler was saying he was going to be on, and I was excited to hear that.
They play tomorrow night, 5:30.
I was going to ask you. So
Big Ten.
do the Blues play tonight?
Play tomorrow night as well.
The Blues play tonight, tomorrow night?
Illinois
Plays tomorrow night, and
7,
the Cardinals
Blues
play at 5 something. But
They have a night game? They never play night
Evening.
games. In spring training.
breakfast and an ice cold beer.
I have some of those in the basement. I might have to try that too.
Do
It
you
was a rough
think
day at work.
beer goes with breakfast?
I have cakes and eggs.
That sounds terrible. Kegs and eggs sounds like a recipe for vomit.
Usually in the afternoon, sometimes, yeah.
I'm not going to allow you to answer this question, but I will allow you to chuckle at it. Terry says, Fry, are you from Highland? Married into the family. And I know that they're Catholic, and there are many of them. Okay.
I'm related to a Terry Fry.
Another thing, Terry, isn't it? Last name's not Fry. Another thing that you guys can contribute here if you want to is on Fridays we do a segment with Gabe Pfeiffer and Katie Ryan, and it's an Ask Me Anything segment. So if you want to ask questions of folks, you can put those questions here, and I'll write them down, and then I don't have to come up with my own.
It's gonna be loud for a second. Sorry.
All right, are you guys ready to see the magic being made here? Like, made magic. Here, hold on a second. So, I don't want that to be covered in oil. Wouldn't it be terrible if I set something on fire right now? Oh, you guys are seeing my big baby belly. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was not part of my game. This thing is so fun, and it seems like it would be a lot of work, but it actually, like, once you get rocking and rolling here, it actually goes super fast and makes a lot of waffles constantly, which is good for a family that has a bunch of people who want to eat a lot of waffles, especially an 11-year-old boy who's never not hungry. All right, put you down, and then watch this. Flip it over, and then there are 3 more. One time I was making these. One time I was making these waffles, and I went to get the waffle maker out, and when I opened it up, there were 3 waffles from the last time that I forgot to take out. I didn't clean it, so if you have an Ask Me Anything question that you would like to add to our segment tomorrow, go ahead and comment it here, and I will write them down, and I will ask them. You can ask them of Katie, of me, of Ryan, or of Gabe, or what we usually do is all of us can answer a question. I guess it'd be kind of fun. And it's something different, especially when you guys all don't want to talk about Joe Biden anymore. Like, you can only handle so much. We're trying to think of things that we could do. Do you guys like the taste of pancake batter? Do you like do you prefer dough versus the final product? I like pancake batter, but you don't. But you like cookie dough.
Cookie dough's the best.
Yeah. Cake batter?
Oh yeah.
Cake
Granny
batter's
batter,
good.
of course.
What was I saying? Oh, Joe Biden. So we used to do a lot more of these types of evening things or last minute lives, but with Trump, there were so many more opportunities to do that. There were so many more things that you could do that you could talk about that I knew you wanted to talk about. With Joe Biden, it's like, I don't really know what you really like. Do we want to spend our evenings after spending the day? Do we want to spend our evenings talking about the latest thing the Biden administration is doing? I don't. So if you like these types of things, you have to let me know in the comments, and we can do more of them. Dustin says, Annie, oops, that's the wrong one. Just wait, and I'll send you a pic of my wife at 37 weeks, and she's a whopping 5 feet tall. Is she 37 weeks right now? We're pregnant at the same time? Does she like being pregnant? Jared, do I like being pregnant?
Of course you do.
Do you like me being pregnant?
I love you being pregnant.
He says he loves me being pregnant. Joseph says, shouldn't you have a hairnet?
Commas are
Heck
important.
no. If I get my hair in my kids' food, that's just their problem. Jim MJ Lindley says, "Hi Annie, as a mama of 7 grown children, be proud of that baby bump." Well, thank you. And let us talk about President Trump and how he's coming back, baby. Okay. Do you guys really think he's going to be the 2024 candidate? Do you want him to be the 2024 candidate? It always goes back to Trump. Everything. The Democrats bring it back to Trump. It's inevitable. These are a little brown. Stand by. So this is where. Look at him. Isn't that cool? Doop. There's 3 of them. Is this gonna be hot? I need to take this off. Do you guys use a KitchenAid? I love my KitchenAid. I talked to you about my grandma's on the air. I talked about my grandma's real estate sale because she passed away in September, and she had a mixer on her estate sale, and I was like, I could totally justify having 2 mixers if it was grandma's, but that's stupid. That was another emotional buy. Didn't need to do it. So I talked my mom into it, and she did it.
It looks great in our kitchen.
Yeah. It's a nice thing about a nice KitchenAid or any nice mixer. You can leave it sitting. That one's gonna be a little bit big. All right, let's get these over. Woo! Hot. Don't they look good? And they're super crispy. If you like waffles, the edges is what makes them crispy, and that's what makes them good. So Trump. How many of you know that Trump's going to be the next candidate and are A-okay with it? How many of you fear that he's going to be the next candidate? I fear just because as a pragmatist and a potential realist, maybe sometimes pessimist, I don't want to lose twice with Trump. And there's no way that Joe Biden runs again. And so is it Kamala Harris? Does she get to be the heir apparent because she's the one who is in office now with him and probably doing at least half the work? I don't know. Eric on YouTube says Joe Biden's going to be up past his bedtime tonight. Well, they are the ones who told us that he likes to go to bed early and he puts the log on the fire by himself. Man. Dustin says she was pregnant 8 years ago and he was 9 pounds. My second daughter was 9 pounds, 3 ounces. You can hear. This man is a twin.
Oh, you're going to wrap me up.
I'm not going to tell him what you weigh now.
No, I mean, if you took. Sorry, Mom.
Jared's a twin, and he. What did your twin weigh?
7.5 pounds.
Your twin was 7.5 pounds, and you were what?
8 pounds, 15 ounces.
Yeah, what a jerk. He owes people apologies. Mostly his mother. Did I flip this? That's my problem, because I always get distracted, usually by children. Where did the children go? Are they still here? It's so quiet.
Jensen took Evelyn to put TV on so she wouldn't be in your shot.
Was Evelyn okay with that?
Yeah, she's totally okay with
She
that.
took the bait.
Charlie used it as an escape to go upstairs instead of doing his homework.
Did he do his homework?
No,
I thought
he
he
did
said
not
he
finish
finished
his
his math.
No, I don't think so. It's still open over there.
Don't you guys love this Mickey Waffle maker? It's so fun. Makes eating fun.
Everything tastes better in the shape of a Mickey.
What do you eat? Oh, no, this is not stirred up enough. What do you eat on your waffles? How do you eat a waffle? I just like them with maybe a little bit of butter and syrup. I always prefer maple syrup, but any kind of syrup. And my kids will put whipped cream and fruit on top of it. Oh, I see. Joe says Trump could win for a 3rd time. I see what you did there. That's kind of what Trump said, isn't it?
There it be.
Oops. See, I got distracted again. If I open this. Oh, yeah. Here's your one. Little Mickeys.
All right, I gotta get bacon out of here.
It's bacon time. Hot. If I were smart, I'd use a fork. I run out of brain cells from around 3 o'clock, sometimes around 2:30, which is why you should tune in at about 2:45. I run out of words to say. Can I?
Yeah, you fill that up and then I go burn. Nobody wants burnt bacon.
Bacon is best like al dente. Can you have al dente bacon? Does that phrase work for bacon? A little crispy, a little chewy. This Mickey's not going to be as big as the other ones. Okay, he's probably talking right now, so I'm going to, oops, make a mess. I'm going to flip it, saying that out loud. Okay, so I'm going to see if I can pull him up here. Don't burn me. On the old YouTube TV. And if he's not like Trump, he'll be on time.
Fashionably late.
Turn live. Turn the volume up.
Called a coronavirus relief measure. Needless to say, Joe
And I'm
Biden.
going to mute that. And I'll just pull it up. Could you guys hear Tucker talking right then? Were you able to hear Tucker when he was just talking there in a minute? Joseph puts fruit on his waffles, but that's because the doctor took his syrup. I guess I hear that. Kevin says waffles with southern gravy and fried chicken. I've never had
Ooh.
chicken and waffles, but that sounds delicious. And this guy here makes the best biscuits and gravy that there is.
The gravy's pretty good.
It's very good. Vicky says butter and syrup. Jackie says I dip my waffles in syrup. That can definitely be the way to go. That's the way my littlest does, and I appreciate that. Otherwise, the syrup gets everywhere.
Sticky curls.
Mike says, good evening, love your show. Thanks for streaming it. I am grateful that you're there. I appreciate that. Gary Hall is watching in High Ridge. Kevin Simpson says Ron DeSantis 2024. The only reason I don't want that to happen is because I want to go to Florida if everything goes south in 2024. Let's see. Are we talking yet? Oh, yep, here he goes. Let's see here.
Violence and spread unchecked. Denials for days, weeks, then months.
Can you guys hear that?
That led to more deaths, more infections, more stress, and more loneliness. Photos and videos from 2019 feel like they were taken in another era. The last vacation, the last birthday with friends, the last holiday with extended family. While it was different for everyone, we all lost something. A collective suffering, a collective sacrifice. A year filled with the loss of life, the loss of living for all of us. But in the loss, we saw how much there was to gain in appreciation, respect, and gratitude.
And power grab.
Finding light in the darkness is a very American thing to do. In fact, it may be the most American thing we do. And that's what we've done. We've seen frontline and essential workers risking their lives, sometimes losing them, to save and help others. Researchers and scientists racing for a vaccine. And so many of you, as Hemingway wrote, being strong in all the broken places. I know it's been hard. I truly know. As I've told you before, I carry a card in my pocket with the number of Americans who have died from COVID to date. It's on the back of my schedule. As of now, total deaths in America, 527,726. That's more deaths than in World War I, World War II, the Vietnam War, and 9/11 combined. There were husbands, wives, sons and daughters, grandparents, friends, neighbors, young and old, They leave behind loved ones, unable to truly grieve or to heal, even to have a funeral. But I'm also thinking about everyone else who lost this past year to natural causes, by cruel fate of accident or other disease. They too died alone. They too leave behind loved ones who are hurting badly. You know, you've often heard me say before, I talk about the longest walk any parent can make is up a short flight of stairs to his child's bedroom to say, I'm sorry, I lost my job. Can't be here anymore. Like my dad told me when he lost his job in Scranton. So many of you have had to make that same
Explain
walk
why he
this
lost his
past
job
year.
in Scranton. It's because the government
lost your
shut down
job.
like oil production or
You
something like
closed your
that.
business, facing
I gotta
eviction,
Google the facts on that,
homelessness, hunger, a loss of control, maybe worst of all, a loss of hope. Watching a generation of children who may be set back up to a year or more
Put him back in the
because
classroom.
they've not been in school because of their loss of learning. It's the details of life that matter the most. And we miss those details. The big details and the small moments. Weddings, birthdays, graduations. All the things that needed to happen, but didn't. The first date, the family reunions,
This is the ish
the
that
Sunday
we
night
already
rituals. It's all has exacted a terrible cost on the psyche of so many of us. For we are fundamentally a people who want to be with others, to talk, to laugh, to hug, to hold one another. But this virus has kept us apart. Grandparents haven't seen their children or grandchildren. Parents haven't seen their kids. Kids haven't seen their friends. The things we used to do that always filled us with joy have become things we couldn't do and broke our hearts. Too often, we've turned against one another. A mask, the easiest thing to do to save lives.
See how fast I made all those
Sometimes it
waffles?
divides us.
Joe Biden
states
solved the entire pandemic
Pit it against
crisis
one
in the
another
time it took him
instead
to
of
make these
working with
waffles.
each other. Vicious hate crimes against Asian Americans
What?
who've been attacked, harassed, blamed, and scapegoated. At this very moment, so many of them are fellow Americans. They're on the front lines of this pandemic trying to save lives. And still, they're forced to live in fear for their lives just walking down streets in America. It's wrong, it's un-American, and it must stop. Look, we know what we need to do to beat this virus. Tell the truth. Follow the scientists and the science. Work together. Put trust and faith in our government to fulfill its most important function, which is protecting the American people. No function more important. We need to remember the government isn't some foreign force in a distant capital. No, it's us, all of us. We the people.
Fox News
For you and
has a
I,
lower box, like right
that America thrives
here, of a live
We
shot of
give our
Tucker
hearts.
Carlson going like this.
when we turn our hands
That's funny.
to common purpose. And right now, my friends, we're doing just that. And I have to say, as your president, I'm grateful to you. Last summer, I was in Philadelphia and I met a small business owner, a woman.
Tucker
And I
is
asked
so
her, I
funny.
said, what do you need most? Never forget what she said to me. She said, looking me behind the eyes, she said, I just want the truth. The truth. Just tell me the truth. Think of that. My fellow Americans, you're owed nothing less than the truth. And for all of you asking when things will get back to normal, here is the truth.
I like your beer.
The only way to get our lives back, to get our economy back on track, is to beat the virus. You've been hearing me say that for while I was running and the last 50 days I've been president. But this is one of the most complex operations we've ever undertaken as a nation in a long time. That's why I'm using every power I have as President of the United States to put us on a war footing to get the job done. Sounds like hyperbole, but I mean it, a war footing. And thank God we're making some real progress now.
Jared, look at this.
In my first full day in office,
This is
I
a live
outlined
shot
for
of
you a
Tucker.
comprehensive strategy to beat this pandemic.
Going like this.
We've spent every day since attempting to carry it out. 2 months
Look,
ago,
Ann, come on over.
this country didn't have nearly enough vaccine supply to vaccinate all or ever near all of the American public. But soon we will. We've been working with vaccine manufacturers, Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, to manufacture and purchase hundreds of millions of doses of these 3 safe, effective vaccines. And now, at the direction and with the assistance of my administration,
Take 'em.
Johnson & Johnson is working together with a competitor, Merck, to speed up and increase the capacity to manufacture new Johnson & Johnson vaccine, which is 1 shot. In fact, just yesterday, I announced, and I met with the CEOs of both companies, I announced our plan to buy an additional 100 million doses of Johnson & Johnson vaccines. These 2 companies, competitors, have come together for the good of the nation, and they should be applauded for it. It's truly a national effort, just like we saw during World War II. Now, because all the work we've done, we'll have enough vaccine supply for all adults in America by the end of May. That's months
Want to bring
ahead
it
of
over here and
schedule.
show them what your waffles look like?
And we're mobilizing thousands of vaccinators to put the vaccine in one's arm. Calling
Hi,
active
Jeff.
duty military, FEMA, retired doctors and nurses, administrators, and then those to administer the shots.
I'll go put eggs and fruit.
And we've been creating more places to get the shots. We've made it possible for you to get a vaccine at nearly any one of 10,000 pharmacies across the country, just like you get your flu shot. We're also working with governors and mayors in red states and blue states to set up and support nearly 600 federally supported vaccination centers that administers hundreds of thousands of shots per day.
Jesus, be our guest. And let
You can
that
drive up
rest
to a
be
stadium
blessed.
or a
Amen.
large parking lot, get your shot, never leave your car, and drive home in less than an hour. We've been sending vaccines to hundreds of community health centers all across America, located in underserved areas. And we've been deploying, and we will deploy more mobile vehicles and pop-up clinics to meet you where you live, so those who are least able to get the vaccine are able to get it. We continue to work on making at-home testing available. And we've been focused on serving people in the hardest hit communities of this pandemic: Black, Latino, Native American, and rural communities. So what does all this add up to? When I took office 50 days ago, only 8% of Americans, after months, only 8% of those over the age of 65 have gotten their first vaccination. Today, that number is 65%.
Just take your shoes off.
Just 14% of Americans over the age of 75 50 days ago had gotten their first shot. Today, that number is well over 70%.
Send some Mickey Waffles.
With new guidance from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, that came out on Monday, it means simply this: millions and millions of grandparents who went months without being able to hug their grandkids can now do so.
Thanks,
And the
Trump.
more people are fully vaccinated, the CD will continue to provide additional guidance on what you can do in the workplace, places of worship with your friends, as well as travel. When I came into office, you may recall, I set a goal that many of you said was that kind of way over the top. I said I intended to get 100 million shots in people's arms in my first 100 days in office. Tonight, I can say we're not only going to meet that goal, we're going to beat that goal, because we're actually on track to reach this goal of 100 million shots in arms on my 60th day in office. No other country in the world has done this. None. Now, I want to talk about the next steps we're thinking about. First, tonight, I'm announcing that I will direct all states, tribes, and territories to make all adults, people 18 and over, eligible to be vaccinated no later than May 1.
Oh,
Let me say that again. All adult Americans will be eligible to get a vaccine no later than May 1.
Thanks, Trump.
That's much earlier than expected. Let me be clear. That doesn't mean everyone's going to have that shot immediately, but it means
One would
you'll be able
almost
to
say
get
that
one
was at
beginning
warp
May 1.
speed.
Every adult will be eligible to get their shot. And to do this, we're going to go from 1 million shots a day that I promised in December before I was sworn
Crispy
in,
only? I
to
like it a little
maintaining,
chewy. How do you like
beating
your
our
bacon,
current
folks?
pace of 2 million shots a
A
day,
little chewy, crispy on the edge. That's the way
outpacing
I
the
like
rest
it.
of the world.
Jared made it in the oven. Lauren
Secondly,
says, gross, crispy
at a
only.
time when
Let's
every
fight about
adult is
bacon
eligible
instead
to
of
make,
politics.
we will
We have
launch
bacon wars.
with our partners
I have that.
new tools to make it easier for you to find the vaccine and where to get the shot,
It is.
including a new website that will help you first find the place to get vaccinated and the one nearest you.
Thank you.
No more searching day and night for an appointment for you and your loved ones. Thirdly, with the passage of the American Rescue Plan, and I thank again the House and Senate for passing it, and my announcement last month of a plan to vaccinate teachers and school staff, including bus drivers, we can accelerate massive nationwide effort to reopen our schools safely and meet my goal that I stated at the same time about 100
Schools are
million
open
shots
safely.
of opening a majority of K through 8 schools in my first 100 days in office. This is going to be the #1 priority of my new Secretary of Education, Miguel Cardona. Fourth, in the coming weeks,
Ooh, raw bacon.
we will
That's a
issue
bad way to
further
eat bacon.
guidance on what you can and cannot do once fully vaccinated to lessen the confusion, to keep people safe,
I don't know.
and encourage more people to get vaccinated. And finally, fifth, and maybe most importantly,
I don't know what's in there.
I promise I will do everything in my power. I will not relent until we beat this virus. But I need
I can.
you, the American people. I need you. I need every American to do their part. And that's not hyperbole. I need you. I need you to get vaccinated when it's your turn and when you can find an opportunity. And to help your family, your friends, your neighbors get vaccinated as well. Because here's the point. If we do all this, if we do our part, if we do this
I
together,
think we agree on
by
bacon.
July the
just in
4th,
general.
there's a good chance
Bacon,
you,
good.
your families and friends will be able to get together in your backyard or in your neighborhood and have a cookout or a barbecue and celebrate Independence Day.
Is anybody you need?
That
more?
doesn't
I just
mean
need
large
more.
events with lots of people together, but it does mean small groups will be able to get together. After this long, hard year, that will make this
You know those
Independence
waffles are
Day
not bites.
something truly special, where we not only mark our independence as a nation, but we
Anybody
begin to
else's
mark our
11-year-old sons
independence
just
from this virus.
Inhale food.
But to get there, we can't let our guard down.
Dawn on
This
Facebook
fight
says
is
bacon
far
in
from
the air
over,
fryer
from over.
is
As I told the
great
woman in
too. Have you
Pennsylvania,
done that?
I'll tell you the truth.
Better than the oven?
On July 4th, with your loved ones,
I cooked it
As
crispy.
good?
is the goal.
It's pretty good.
If it's as good and it's
But a
faster,
goal-
that's better.
It ended up
A lot can
too
happen.
crispy because I didn't know.
Conditions can change.
But it was good because I put it in omelets. So
The scientists have made clear
Scale back the time on it.
Yeah.
that things may get worse again.
We got a
As
ninja
new
from my
variants
sister
of the
for
virus
Christmas.
spread.
What is it?
We've got work to do to
Ninja,
ensure
but what
that
is it?
everyone has confidence in
Air
the
fryer
safety and
and a
effectiveness
bunch
of all
other
3
things. I don't know.
vaccines.
I don't cook. I make
So my
waffles.
message to you is this. Listen to Dr. Fauci,
Ninja
one of
grill.
the most distinguished and trusted voices in the world.
Supposed to do everything.
He's assured us the vaccines are safe.
Dad, please watch
They
my
underwent rigorous scientific review. I know they're
I agree,
safe.
Vicky.
Vice President Harris and I know they're safe. That's why we got the vaccine publicly in front of cameras.
Could you maybe close the door?
So
while
for the
she does
world to
that?
see, so you can see us do it. The first lady and the second gentleman also got vaccinated. Talk to your family, friends, your neighbors, the people you know best who've gotten the vaccine. We need everyone to get vaccinated. We need everyone
I would
to
like
keep
to.
washing
I'm
their
not gonna do that in
hands,
front of these fine
stay
people.
socially distanced, and keep wearing the mask as recommended by the CDC. Because even if we devote every resource we have, beating this virus and getting back to normal depends on national unity. And national unity isn't just how politics and politicians vote in Washington, what the loudest voices say in cable
So you know
or
how in the
online.
NFL
Unity
they had the
is what we
Nickelodeon
do
football
together
game?
as
Maybe you know this,
fellow
maybe you don't.
Americans.
But they overlaid
Because
the
if we don't
football
stay
game with like
vigilant
Nickelodeon special
and the
effects. Like
conditions
if somebody
change,
scored in the
then we may have
scored
to
a touchdown in the
reinstate
end zone, which
restrictions
is where you
to
score
get back on
touchdowns.
track.
They'd like
Please, we don't
slime
want
the
to do
end
that
zone
again.
and stuff. It was all graphics.
We've made so
I wish
much
that they would
progress.
do that right now.
This is
Those
not the
kind of
time to
graphics
let
to
up.
Tucker Carlson in the bottom screen right now, like with stuff
Just
coming out of
as
his
we were
ears.
emerging from a dark
Because
winter
the
into a
Tucker face
hopeful
is in
spring
full
and
effect.
summer is not the
I'm going
time
to show it to you again.
to not stick with the rules.
Get out of here.
To close with this, we've lost so much over the last year. We've lost family and friends. We've lost businesses and dreams we spent years building. We've lost time with each other. And our children have lost so much time with their friends, time with their schools.
We know
No
this.
graduation ceremonies this spring. No graduations from college, high school, moving up ceremonies. You know, and there's something else we lost. We lost faith in whether our government and our democracy can deliver on really hard things for the American people. But as I stand here tonight, we're proving once again something I've said time and time again, so they're probably tired of hearing me say it. I say it to foreign leaders and domestic alike. It's never, ever a good bet to bet against the American people. America is coming back. The development, manufacture, and distribution of vaccines in record time is a true miracle of science. It's one of the most
probably isn't
extraordinary
popular to
achievements any
say
country
or
has
to be
ever
heard.
accomplished.
But with all
We
things
also
considered
just
and
saw
how
the
bad we've seen
Perseverance
Joe Biden
rover land on
perform
Mars.
in some other instances, he's really not
Stunning
doing that bad.
images
I think he's probably practiced
of
his
our
speech a lot.
dreams that are now reality. Another example of the extraordinary American ingenuity, commitment, and belief in science and one another. And today, I signed into law the American Rescue Plan, an historic piece of legislation that delivers immediate relief to millions of people.
Same, Scott.
Includes $1,400 in direct rescue checks, payments. That means a typical family of four earning about $110,000 will get checks for $5,600 deposited if they have direct deposit or in a check, a treasury check.
Not everybody.
It extends unemployment benefits. It helps small businesses. It lowers healthcare premiums for many. It provides food and nutrition, keeps families in their homes. And it will cut child poverty in this country in half, according to the experts. And it funds all the steps I've just described to beat the virus and create millions of jobs. In the coming weeks and months, I'll be traveling along with the First Lady, the Vice President, the Second Gentleman, members of my cabinet, to speak directly to you, to tell you the truth about how the American Rescue Plan meets the moment. And if it fails at any place, I will acknowledge that it failed, but it will not. About how after long, dark years, one whole year, there is hope and light of better days ahead. If we all do our part, this country will be vaccinated soon. Our economy will be on the mend. Our kids will be back in school. And we'll have proven once again that this country can do anything, hard things, big things, important things. Over a year ago, no one could have imagined what we were about to go through. But now we're coming through it. And it's a shared experience that binds us together as a nation. We're bound together by the loss and the pain of the days that have gone by. We're also bound together by the hope and the possibilities of the days in front of us. My fervent prayer for our country is that after all we've been through, we'll come together as one people, one nation, one America. I believe we can and we will. We're seizing this moment. In history, I believe we record. We faced and overcame one of the toughest and darkest periods in this nation's history. Darkest we've ever known. I promise you, we'll come out stronger with a renewed faith in ourselves, a renewed commitment to one another, to our communities, and to our country. This is the United States of America. And there's nothing, from the bottom of my heart, I believe this, there's nothing we can't do when we do it together. So God bless you all. And please, God, give solace to all those people who lost someone. And may God protect our troops. Thank you for taking the time to listen. I look forward to seeing you.
President Biden, do you consider this a new phase of the pandemic?
He's walking away.
Joe Biden, in his first live address to the country of his presidency,
Alrighty.
very strained.
So there you have it. That's the first address. I will say, I do believe that all things considered, the extremely high bar that he has set for himself on these speeches, that I thought he delivered it well, but it's fluff, and you cannot make the argument, President Biden, that we need to have everything shut down, that everything needs to be closed, that masks need to be required by our government overlords, that all of this stuff needs to be implemented from government, when you can look at states across the union who have not implemented these same things for a long time, if not ever, and their success rates beating this virus are as good, if not better, than places like New York and California and Illinois and New Jersey and big blue states that took a very oppressive, heavy hand at this. So I know you guys were all just like dying to hear what President Biden had to say. Andrew says, now the moron Tucker Carlson. Andrew, I love that you're in the chat every day on our YouTube thing. I love that you come and not every day, but it's just like, doesn't this torture you? I don't want you to be tortured. I want you to be happy. Man. Eric, thanks for watching on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to us on YouTube, we just got over 2,000 subscribers. We just hit, I think last time I left it was like 2010. But YouTube is definitely a place where I'm trying to grow. We've got near 15,000 people on Facebook. That is our biggest platform, but in the day and age that we live in right now, all that stuff can change very quickly if somebody decides to shut down something that we're doing. So I'm trying to build the YouTube platform as well. So if you don't mind going to the Annie Fry YouTube channel and subscribing, then you'll be able to get notified if you hit that notification bell whenever we go live for stuff. So if we do something special like this, a Mickey Waffle night, hook me up with a Mickey Waffle. A Mickey Waffle night. Mickey Waffles. This is the spoonful of sugar making the Joe Biden medicine go down. I don't want that. I can't get down with the whipped cream on the waffles. Why? I'd rather just eat whipped cream out of a spoon. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to actually eat some eggs and a waffle right now, but I wanted to say thanks for hanging out with me. We've been here for about 50 minutes, and I am grateful that you guys have spent some time with us. And if you enjoy this, it's harder for me to do this stuff at night because, honestly, being 26 weeks pregnant, this is where I mostly just sit in the chair and moan and groan in misery. Is that true?
No, sometimes you're in bed.
Sometimes I go to bed. Sometimes at 7:30 I say, forget it all. I give up. I'm going to bed. So thanks for watching. Appreciate you being here. Make sure you like this video and share it if you feel inclined. And if you would, please consider subscribing to the Annie Fry YouTube channel. Do you like how subtly my kids lurk in the background of the video as if, oh, I didn't see you there over my shoulder? They all three have done it, haven't they? All right. Thanks for watching, guys. I love every one of you. I appreciate every one of you. And we'll do this again tomorrow at noon on the Friday show. Talk to you guys tomorrow.